message and said, this is how I want my people to live. And he decides what chapters are going to be written in a book. And what Guru Gobind Singh does is he makes sure that book is complete in its final form and puts the seal on it and delivers it to the monk. So there's no difference in what Guru Gobind Singh did. He basically lived the way Guru Nanak Ji asked his Sikhs to live, and basically lived to the day. Let's start by example. As a father of 2 young children, Gurish Jivan, concept of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he told people that they did not have to go out and become ecstatics or monks to reach God. Guru Gobind Singh was a proud father of 4 children. But more importantly, as Satguru, he saw his entire Sikh month as his children. That's something to really be, it's very emotional. Like, a lot of us, we come to Gurdwara and we get really proud when we see one of our children doing very well, or if they sing Kirtan, or they do a good speech, and my kid. Like, Guru Gobind Singh was completely impartial, whether it was his own 4 flesh and blood, or whether it was a Sikh that decided to walk his path. They were the same to him. And that's something to be admired. So I think that, like I said, for a year now, he's been giving one katha. Different forms, but one katha he's been talking about is he's been saying that Sadguru has so many good, so many virtues, so many good qualities. Like infinite, right? Just try to take one. Try to take one home with you and try to incorporate that. That's the goal of coming here, is to shed our bad qualities and incorporate the good ones. So when I say, just talking about personal experience, that's what I see. When I see Guru Gobind Singh, I see a good father figure who was able to pass on his values to even the Chorde Sahibzade, who were able to stand up, 8-year-old children who were able to stand up to tyranny. Following his own example, Guru Gobind Singh was only 9 years old when he told his own father to go and stand up for tyranny and sacrifice his life. So he's a great father figure for us men, right? Number 2, I think he is basically the helper of the poor. I mean, you have to look at the sign of the times, basically, who's the emperor during that time. We're talking about Aurangzeb, right? So I don't know how many of you are probably well more versed in history than I am, but what I remember about Aurangzeb is that he basically made sure his father, who was a liberal like Akbar was, Shah Jahan was his father, the emperor who built the Taj Mahal that the entire world sees as a beautiful work of art. He made sure his father would die in jail, and he killed his own brother to take the throne. That's how ruthless Aurangzeb was. Okay? So, I mean, what's he going to care for the people that he's ruling over, whether they're Sikhs or Hindus or whatnot, if he can kill his own family? So this is the type of person that Guru Gobind Singh is facing. And during that time, ragas, music, poetry, everything was banned. And it didn't matter to Guru Gobind Singh that if someone was a Hindu or a Muslim or a poet, he believed in the freedom of religion and the freedom of expression, the same principles that we as Americans believe in. And he gave those people sanctuary in his darbar, in the gurdwaras, in the courts. All these people could come and express the art form free. So that's an example. I mean, that's kind of almost the same thing that Guru Nanak Dev Ji did when he expressed against tyranny against Babur, and he basically spoke against people not being able to practice their faith. So that's number 2, giving shelter to the weak and to the poor. It's a stretch. It's the same thing as Asivanja Chatadaya. It's to help the people that are less fortunate than us. That's what Guru Gobind Singh did. And the final thing I want to take, and I think this is where I kind of wanted to end it, and this is the most important, I think, quality that we should all maybe try to take away from today, and even as we start the new year, is the quality of forgiveness. Because, we come to Gurdwara and ਅਸੀਂ ਅਰਦਾਸਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ, we want this in our life, we want this, and we have a lot of bad qualities, and we have some good qualities too. And Guruji gives us those, but we want to, like I said, we want to shed our bad qualities and take in good qualities. But, if Guruji didn't forgive us for our bad qualities, where would we be? I mean, there's none of us here that are pure or perfect or anything like that. So if Guruji does not have the capacity, or Vayu does not have the capacity to forgive us, where are we going to be? And so that's what I want to ask you guys today. Is like I just described Aurangzeb, and the reason why I did that is like Sadhguru is forgiving Aurangzeb after he kills countless of his kids. I'm not saying his 4 children. I'm saying his 6 children. Because remember what I told you how I started this. He saw every single one of his 6 as his own child and his own brother or sister. He killed countless people. His mother died. He was left with nothing. I mean, we go into a downward economy for a couple years, or we're not doing well in our business, and we don't turn to the Guru. We sometimes turn our back to the Guru and say, oh, maybe it's because of the way I look, or maybe it's because I'm not, I look like this or that, and Sadhguru is that's not the relationship I think we want to foster. He basically forgave Aurangzeb, and it was his letters, Zafarnama, that broke Aurangzeb's heart. I mean, this is a man who made sure his own father and his own brother would die so he could take the throne. It's a fanatical Muslim, the same type of Islam that's in that area now, that has no tolerance of religious expression of other people's faiths. And his words were able to break him, and he forgave him. So today, on this Gurpurab, think back on your life, on these relationships that you've made with people. People maybe in the Sangat or people across life, and see if we can take this one quality of Guruji, of forgiveness, and forgive our friends, or forgive those people who have trespassed us, spoke ill of us, hasn't maybe treated us properly, and try to have that love inside and realize that nobody's perfect, and we should all try to have those qualities that Sadhguru has. Sorry about taking too much time, and sorry about any mistakes that I've made. Vaheguru Ji ka
Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. Just press that button again.
Okay, thank you.
Was it blinking or not? The red thing. If it was not, I'll email you. Okay?
Okay, if this was not blinking, I didn't
No, it had to be blinking.
all the time.
Yeah.
I'll
email it to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Sharma should come on stage,
I'll just take it.
followed by Nisha and Muskan Singh, and then the rest of the students from the Punjabi school. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.
It's blinking.
Oh, it's blinking.
That means it's recording.
Okay, thank you. मेरा नहीं होया.
Are you on the Facebook?
हाँ जी, I'm on the Facebook.
I'll take your thing and I'll upload on the Facebook and you can have it. Okay?
I don't know how to make. I'm not that.
Then you just share it. Then you just I'll show you. I'll show you.
अच्छा जी, बड़ा thank you. गुरुद्वारा का किसी का देखो. मेरा नाम अनु है.